Hey heroes, welcome in. We are your hosts for hire. Today we wanted to get a little bit into potential battles between characters. First, as always, we appreciate you being here and please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good things at Hosts for Hire podcast on all platforms. That's host 4 with the number 4 hire podcast on all platforms. We appreciate you coming in, and we had the idea of Moon Knight versus Namor.
Yes.
Was I
Now,
thought
guys,
because
we are by no means trying to be the death battle guys. We all know them. We all love them. Kyle and I are huge fans. So,
Mhm.
we're definitely not trying to be those guys. We're not doing any type of in depth work like they do. They are so good at doing research. And we are just trying to think of this as Moon Knight versus Namor, just based on what we know about them. No going into like crazy comic beats, nothing like super crazy in depth. Just a fun conversation about who we think would win in a death fight between Moon Knight and Namor.
so first off, the interest came from Moon Knight, being Moon Knight, and Namor being King of the Seas, which with the lunar tides, like how would Moon Knight be able to affect his powers?
Yeah, which is a
And
really interesting concept.
yeah, at least we think so. And, and I mean, so for first off, right off the bat, too, Moon Knight has different power levels based on the phases of the moon, you know? Because what we're thinking here, guys, is like random encounter,
Yep.
like random on a random day on the street, no prep time, just
Just they
these
looked at
two
each other the
guys.
wrong way and they were like, "What is it, fool?"
Would
Sounds
it be?
psyched.
So they end up. So in my mind, I don't know. Namor is like in my mind seemingly stronger, right? Like from everything
Yeah.
I've known, like in general, besides like Moon Knight being bestowed with like cosmic powers from Khonshu at certain times, like where Khonshu
Yeah.
gives him like the full control of the moon and he can like create moons and shit. Like
Here's where I land
there's
on it.
certain things.
I truly believe, like just like putting my line in the sand right away. I think this would go to Moon Knight. Uh,
Mm.
Now my reasoning why is there's that comic strip that he takes Mjolnir from Thor, and he's like, I control, like he's like, moons are my thing, man. So like I feel like his power over the tides might be something that we haven't necessarily seen in the comics, but for all intents and purposes would be really intense. Which
Yeah,
could really mess with Namor's power. And then secondly, I think like Moon Knight can like for like lack of a better term, like he can go plus ultra, whereas like Namor kind of has a cap. Like
yeah.
he's really durable, really strong, but that's about his like cap there, where Moon Knight can like plus ultra himself, and
That's true. Where he has Khonshu on his side,
that, and he
essentially.
also has tech,
Um,
like a crazy arsenal of
yeah.
tech
The
that could help him.
here's my argument against though is that even Moon Knight at full moon power, like if it was the full moon,
Hmm.
he's still technically not as strong as like in his base version
Right.
isn't as strong as Namor, like strength or durability wise. Like they're close, but Namor like he can go toe to toe with the Hulk, whereas Moon Knight can
That's
only
true.
really do that with the help of Khonshu. But here's
Even
the
then,
other
I don't know
thing.
about that.
Here's the other thing. Here's my line in the sand. Namor would win quick, like not quickly, but he would win pretty decisively. But then it's also canonical that Khonshu just can bring Moon Knight back to life. So I also, would have to venture to guess that Namor would
A
kill
really good
him, and
point.
then he would just rise back to life. And at that point, then Khonshu could then bestow upon him this like moon god powers, the full moon god powers, which he does in another comic line at one point. And
Yeah.
like he essentially can
I just think like I guess like it would
like
it would have to come
drop the
to
moon
like
on him.
uh what the level of influence Moon Knight gets to the tides, to the oceans. You're like, what is the level that he can influence it when
But the
he
other
is
thing,
at
my point,
max
the other thing
Khonshu
is like
power?
that would only affect Namor's hydrokinesis. It wouldn't affect
That's
his
true.
base powers.
That's true. I guess
It would
that's
just make it so that he can't,
that
control
is a good point.
water, which if they meet on a random street isn't really going to help him that much.
True. And then I guess it also comes down to like fighting ability. That one I'd give to Moon
Mhm.
Knight. I
Oh,
definitely give
Moon
that
Knight
one to Moon
definitely
Knight.
is. Yeah, Moon Knight
Uh,
is trained in like all forms of martial arts.
yeah, yeah, and he's a
Like
real
that's why he would put up a good fight against
mm,
Namor immediately, because in my mind, because he is trained. He has those, like you
yeah.
said, he has those gadgets. He has everything that
There's a lot of tech.
allows him to. Yeah, he has tech that would allow him to stay alive. And
Yeah,
allow
that's
him
really
to
interesting. You guys, what do you
get an
think?
edge.
Do you think Moon Knight has this fight in the bag? Do you think Namor does? And why? Is it because of their difference in strength? Do you think that Moon Knight would be influenced by, or like that he could influence the tides in a crazy way? Let us know, please, in the comments and any type of way that you want to get at us.
And the one more time, that's Hosts4Hire podcast, number 4, Hosts4Hire podcast on YouTube and all other platforms. Be sure to come and give us a follow. We would appreciate it. It would mean the world to us. And we
Yes,
hope you
tell us we're
enjoyed
wrong.
this.
Tell Kyle he's wrong.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah. Tell
please.
Lucas he doesn't know what he's talking about, and that Namor would absolutely crush him.
It,
Um,
it, it couldn't be my Moon Knight
not my
that you're
Moon Knight.
talking about. Couldn't be
Hashtag
my
not
Moon
my
Knight.
Moon Knight.
Well, you guys, if you made
Yeah.
it this far, thank you so much for sticking around, and we will see you next time.
See ya.